Hello everyone, welcome back to the Java tutorial series. In this video, we will learn the array traversal. Array traversal. Why it is important, and we will see different ways to traverse an array. So let's understand that what is array traversal. So array traversal refers to accessing each element of an array one by one. Accessing each element one by one of an array means visiting each element of an array. So it is one of the most common operations performed on arrays, and in the going forward we'll be using a lot of times array traversal. So this is crucial to understand what it is and different ways to achieve it. So its use cases are mostly to read, display, search, or process array elements. So these are the use cases. Now why do we need of this traversing? So traversal is useful for many operations such as display elements, calculate sum, find maximum or minimum value, search of an element, or existing value we can modify. So this will all of these coding questions we'll see in the later videos and we'll understand. So before doing this thing, we should understand how to traverse. So there is another way of traversal, that is using enhanced for loop. So let's say, for example, we have an array. Okay, let's say numbers. Say int array numbers equals to, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40. So let's say we've initialized with the int array. So this is one array and the array name is numbers. And these are the values 10, 20, 30, 40. Now we want to traverse each element of the array. So this is an advanced for loop, enhanced for loop, sorry. So the format is, we will write for and we will provide the data type here. What is the data type of the values? So since we have declared int array, we will write int here. Then this is a random variable name which we will be using inside the for block. So this is, you can say, variable name. This is not variable name of array. This is the variable name of values. We are declaring variable name for values of integer type. And after colon, we will write the exact name of array which we want to iterate. So exact name of array is numbers. So this will come here. So this is what? Name of an array. This is name of an array which we will be iterating. So this array contains what? Values. values of what is the data type of these values, that is of integer. So after each iteration inside this array, what we will get? The values. So where we will hold this value? For that we need one variable. So that variable name is num. Here we can give any variable name for holding values of an array. It can be x, y, z, num, any variable name. So it will hold the value, not values. It will hold the value of a numbers array. So at a time, while iterating this array, at a time we will get one value. At a time we will get one value, and that is of int type. So inside loop we are just having print statement, and we are printing the value of num, that is value present inside the array. So numbers array, in every iteration we will get the value. So for first iteration we'll get num value as 10. For second iteration we'll get value 20. For third iteration we'll get value 30, and likewise for fourth we'll get 40. So these are the values we are getting of num in each iteration. So inside the for block, for each iteration we are printing. So the output will be 10, 20, 30, 40. This is the output. So this is advanced for loop. So let's go to IntelliJ and see some examples of traversing the array. So let's take an example. Int array numbers equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we have initialized one array numbers. So this array contains 5 elements, and during traversal we should access each element. So during traversal of numbers array, we access each element from index 0 to how many elements are there. So it will traverse from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So index 0 to index 4. So it will traverse from 0 to 4 index. Now let's write for loop. For int I equals to 0, I less than numbers dot length, and I plus plus, and we'll simply print the numbers, and in the here we'll add I. So it will traverse the array. So it is the most common way to traverse an array. The loop starts from index 0 and continues until the last element. So the output will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's verify it. So if you notice here, we have used numbers.length property. So the length property returns the total number of elements present in the array. So what are the total number of elements for this array? That is 5. So here it will be replaced by 5. So I less than 5 means it will iterate until I equals to 4. And that is our requirement, index 0 to index 4. So the length property returns the total number of elements present in the array, and using length helps avoid array index out of bound exception. We'll learn further about exception, but this is also one of the famous exception. We get array index out of bound exception. So this is the exception we will get if we increase the value from the length, whatever the capacity of this array. If you take higher the capacity, it will return this exception, array index out of bound exception. By the name itself, it is clear. It is saying array index out of bound and exception. Also, we have seen enhanced for loop. So we will implement that way also in enhanced for loop. So enhanced for loop syntax is for int num, or you can take anything like temp variable, temp and the array. So we have the numbers array here. We have the numbers array and we are iterating, and on each iteration we will get the value in the variable temp. So we will print temp inside for loop. We'll comment this out and let's see the output. So here we can see it is also giving the same output what we used for the traditional for loop. So why do we call this as an enhanced for loop? Because here we are not using any index, as we are using here I equals to 0, and then we are giving some conditions, then some increment. So those things are not happening here. Happening in the sense we are not writing in code wise, and it looks clean. Readability is increased for enhanced for loop. So it is a simple syntax for iterating or traversal of an array. Let's see the difference between for loop and enhanced for loop. So for loop uses index, and in enhanced for loop no index is required. Here we have more control. Since we are iterating with the help of indexes, we can have better control. Based on different requirements, we can control the for loop. But what is the advantage of using an enhanced for loop? That is simple in syntax. So here we can useful for modification, like some complex problems in which we want some additional condition. So those kind of situation, this traditional for loop is useful. Why? Because we can modify as per our use case. And enhanced for loop readability is increased. That means it is best for reading values. So these are the different difference between the enhanced for loop and the normal for loop. So both approaches are useful. So use a traditional for loop when you need index access, and use an enhanced for loop when you simply want to read values. So let's quickly summarize what we have learned so far. So traversal means accessing every element of an array. And traversal, it is commonly performed using loops. And for loop, we provide index access. And also we have seen enhanced for loop, which is simpler in syntax. And we have learned the use cases. We have seen with the example how to use traversal for displaying, and also it is used for searching and different calculations of data. So that's all for this video. I hope this tutorial helped you understand the traversal of an array in Java. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.